How about we just use the bathroom?
Hang on.
Alright, I am doing it. I am following up on what I said I was going to do, and we are creating a stereotypical Minecraft video. Yes, we are creating that stereotypical doomer rant Minecraft series thingy that some YouTubers do. I'm gonna do the bonus chest just because I feel like it. And I'm gonna use this as an outlet to vent some of my frustrations at the world. Whenever I feel like venting out my frustrations and putting out a video in between my actual content. And to make the series fun and interesting, I'm going to be using a new skin for each video. And today's skin, we're going with Spider-Woman. We're going with Spider-Girl. Specifically the Insomniac-verse version, because Spider-Man 2 just launched on PC. I didn't pick it up because I have read the reviews, and apparently it's not a pretty launch. Apparently the game is really buggy right now, and a lot of people are saying that the cutscenes are glitched, and it's launched in a pretty horrendous state. I will eventually pick it up. I decided to wait for a patch, maybe a sale, because I have already played Spider-Man 2 when it came to the PS5. And since I liked the mods of Spider-Man Remastered, I figured I would just wait for a sale. But we're not here to talk about Spider-Man 2 launching on PC. That can come in some other video, but no, unfortunately today we are talking about a very exhausting and frustrating topic. You read the title of the video and you saw the thumbnail, so you know that today we are talking about the endlessly exhausting debate over trans people, over trans women specifically, in bathrooms. Very convenient how trans men are never brought up. It's only ever people like us. Really makes you question what they think trans men are like. We should find a place to make a home, or maybe find a village or something. I'm really sad I don't have a cherry blossom biome by us. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of vent out why this argument is really frustrating, because it relies on one sole thing, really, and it's boiling me and every other trans woman. It's down to boiling us all down to what's between our legs. Not who we are, not what we are. It's down to infantilizing women as nothing but helpless, defenseless creatures, and it boils trans women down to nothing but their penis. And I wanted to put this video out in the off chance that somebody that isn't in my audience, that is predominantly filled with probably mostly queer people, in the odds that one of them happens to find this video, I wanted to put my perspective out as a trans woman who has been using the women's room for roughly 6 years now that I've been transitioning, since late 2019. I think that's 6 years. I can't. Yeah, that is 6 years. No, wait. In November, it will be 6 years. And I've been using it pretty consistently for pretty much all of that time, and there has been no issues. And I kind of wanted to put my story out there to prove that, you know, we're not dangerous. We're no danger to anyone. But of course, I do want to acknowledge and bring up the counter-arguments. I don't want to sound like I'm completely hand-waving them aside and not hearing the counter-arguments out, because I feel like if I didn't do that, that would be pretty unreasonable, and, well, if there's anything I would like to call myself, I think it would be a reasonable person. And the counter-argument I usually see is that somebody with a penis doesn't belong in the women's room. And as I alluded to, as I mentioned earlier, is that just really, as well-intentioned as they may think it is, it boils us down to nothing more than predators out to hurt people. And of course, I am not ignorant to the fact that I know that some bad actors will always exist and will always be out there to take advantage of the fact that trans people are more seen now. I am not naive to the fact that I know that there will always be bad actors that will pretend to be trans. But, if I'm going to concede this, you're gonna have to concede something back, okay? Look me in the eye, this hypothetical counter-argument person. If I'm going to concede that there are people who will use the trans community as a shield to do harm, you need to concede that the facts do not lie, and the vast majority of trans people do not do this. I can't actually say what it is they do, because that's against, because that word is against the YouTube terms of service, but you know what it is, and it starts with an R. The simple fact is, the vast majority of trans women do not do this. Otherwise, you would hear about it. But there aren't really a ton of stories you ever hear about this. If it was such an epidemic, you would just hear more about it. And I'm not trying to minimize when it happens. Don't get me wrong. I am not trying to minimize it. I'm not trying to make light of it. I'm not trying to hand wave it aside. I'm not trying to say that it isn't a problem. What I am trying to say is, you shouldn't use a small handful of people to base your argument for a ban entirely. And the solutions proposed, frankly, are a bit loony, because if you're going to ban trans women from using the women's room, how do you propose about going to do that? The only ways to do that are pretty frickin' scary. Sorry, we found a pretty good cave here. I just want to see what else is in here. I'm gonna go back up to the surface, and I'm going to smelt my iron here. So I have been publicly transitioning for, like I said, 6 years now. And in that 6 years, I have been on hormone replacement therapy for most of that. I started HRT back in 2021. Actually, fun fact, it was the day before. Oh fuck. Gotta get out of there. I am not ready to fight that. I need to craft a sword. I started HRT the day before Spider-Man No Way Home launched into theaters. So that's why I'll never ever forget the day that I started HRT. It's because I got started on my titty Skittles, and the very next day I got to go see one of my favorite Spider-Man movies of all time in theaters. It was a really great set of days. But I've been on HRT since 2021. I have had my legal sex and my name changed. I've done a lot of shit to transition, as it were. Sorry, couldn't find my words there. And so, when all of that work gets minimized because of the genitals that I have, it's really, really disheartening, and it's pretty dismissive of my counter-arguments. I'm also not very keen on the argument that people against trans women in bathrooms will say that I don't want you in a women's room because I don't want my little daughter seeing your penis. Well, I hate to sound like an asshole in this rebuttal because, again, I don't want to hand wave aside these concerns. You are valid in your concern, but last I checked, whenever we use the bathroom, we do not strip naked and run around with our junk showing out. I don't think that's how it works. I think we just go to the bathroom, do our business, and leave. Simply put, the only way your daughter, your innocent little girl, is ever seeing... Fuck, that was dangerous. The only way your daughter, your perfect, innocent little angel, is ever seeing my penis is if she crawls under my stall or looks over it. And frankly, at that point, that's not my problem. That's your problem for how you raised her. I don't understand where this notion that trans women are just in bathrooms swinging around their penis. I don't know where that fucking notion started, but it is so goddamn infuriating, and I just want it to fucking stop. It makes me want to... Ah! Sorry, it just makes me want to jam forks into my fucking eyes every time I hear it, because it really makes no fucking sense when you start to think about it. When you like think about it for 5 minutes. I bring all this up because the idea of banning trans women from using women's rooms is a thing that is unfortunately being brought up again in the wake of Trump's presidency, and obviously I would not support that. You know, just because you're uncomfortable with something doesn't fucking mean it should be banned entirely on the basis of that. Because if that were the case, I should support a blanket ban on the right to own any gun. Okay, hear me out on this one. This is actually counter argument I've been wanting to bring up for a while now. It's because the same logic that people against trans rights will use on us can be turned back about things they care about, like guns. That's just the most prominent example that I can think of a right-wing position. Sorry if there's one you think is better, but this is just the one I'm going for the sake of example. So let's take guns, right? By and large, most people in the community of gun owners, I'm not one of them if you can't tell, but by and large, the vast majority of people who own guns will use them responsibly. But we all know that there is a small portion of that community that will use their firearms to carry out deadly crimes. Like robbing a place, or killing people, or going on mass shootings and not just killing one person. But even though I can acknowledge that that small group of people exist, I would never, ever, ever petition or push for laws banning guns entirely, because that would be fucking crazy. I guess the point I'm trying to get at here is that, you know, the same logic you use against us can be used against you. This doesn't just have to apply to guns. It can apply to other issues that right-wingers or other like it would use. Oh fuck! Go the fuck away! Oh fuck! I'm good. Thought I was gonna die there. Luckily, I did not. Sorry, that was my clock going on. What was I saying? I don't remember where my train of thought was. Oh yeah, I remember. So I guess what I'm trying to say is a small fraction of our community that the numbers show do not commit the horrible things that we're told that we do should not dictate someone's position on the entirety of our community. Another thing I wanted to address is how the fuck would you even go about enforcing what? Wait a minute. What the hell? These are... Sorry, zombie. Can you give me some... When the hell did they add different types of dogs into Minecraft? When was that a thing? I remember there only ever being like the white type of dog, like the wolf. When did this happen? That's like... Sorry, I only paused because that is something that I've been wishing was in Minecraft ever since I was playing it back in the day, and I haven't really kept up with updates ever since. I think the last update that I followed was part of Caves and Cliffs, but I stopped following development after Caves and Cliffs Part 2. But that is genuinely awesome. I've always wanted different dog breeds. That's so cool. Okay, sorry. Okay, back to the point. How the fuck would you ever plan on enforcing this bathroom ban? Would it go by IDs? Because if it goes by ID, I would still legally be allowed to use the women's room, and then your argument kind of falls apart, because your argument is that because I have a penis, I am a danger and I don't belong in the women's room. But if you're enforcing it by using IDs, my ID says I'm female. The only other way I can see a bathroom ban being enforced is if you literally had a bouncer at the door checking under the panties of every single woman who enters. And I don't think you need to be told why that is a problem, but I will explain it anyways, because I kind of have to. That's my job as a YouTuber. Doing that would be a massive breach of privacy. It would be a huge invasion of privacy against every woman who enters that bathroom, cis or otherwise. Not to mention, who the fuck is going to be doing this? Is this going to be somebody's job now? Is somebody's job? Are they getting paid to sit there and be the fucking crotch inspector? No! That's disgusting! God, these arguments are so fucking infuriating, because I don't really know what they seek to accomplish. I mean, they say they're about protecting women, but the vast majority of trans women don't even assault women in bathrooms. And I shouldn't have to tell you that if a man wants to assault a woman, he's not going to go through the effort of dressing up as a woman just to do that. If a man wants to R-word a girl so badly, he will just do it. I can tell you from experience that transition, it's a really fucking difficult process. It's a lot of effort to go through just to get your hands on a woman, okay? Do you know the fucking amount of work I have put into this transition thing? The amount of time and money I have spent in it? It's just ludicrous to believe that somebody would do all of that just to get their hands on some pussy, you know? Sorry for being so, blunt there, but I've never been known to sugarcoat things. God, these fucking arguments are just so goddamn infuriating, and they make my life worse because they're used by people who want to make my life worse. They just make my life really, really difficult because, ooh, there's a village over there. Because they are used all the time against people like me. And I just wanted to get my story out there to show that we aren't that dangerous, that we're not as dangerous as we are portrayed, okay? As the argument would make us out to look like we are. We are not the monsters that they're trying to paint us as. Now, I don't know if bathroom bans will happen, but even if they do, you can rest assured I ain't gonna fucking follow them. I think after all the effort I have put in, not to mention the fact that I am getting a call from my surgeon's office about my bottom surgery this week, I think I've put in a lot of effort, that I've earned the right to just pee in fucking peace. I just wish we could frickin' end all of these debates that are ultimately going nowhere and seek to do nothing but harm people. God. So in conclusion, how about we just use the bathroom? Okay? That's all I gotta say. I'm gonna set up home base in this village, and in the next video I will go, we will continue our little pilgrimage whenever I decide to continue this series. I'll probably work on this world a little bit off cam, because I don't want to do all the tedious mining stuff on camera, but yeah, that's all I've got for this video. trans rights, I guess, is all I have left to say. If you, I guess I gotta come up with an outro. Bless your face. If you sneeze during this video, bless you. Peace out.